Good morning and welcome to Morning Maocha. This is where the stream where you guys get to watch me slowly wake up in the morning. Haven't had breakfast, haven't had tea, but I'm gonna jump in and have some this morning. Sorry if things were just a little bit late getting started. Mornings are not my thing. In fact, this was supposed to be yesterday, but I actually wake up in time for it because my son was up multiple times during the night, and I was super tired, and I just slept straight through it. But we're here now. We're good to go. So let me get a couple things set up here. Ooh, hey, good morning. What's going on, man? How are you? Joseph Burton, what's going on? Let me get a couple things. Let me get a couple things set up here. A couple little housekeeping tidbits. Gotta pop out the chat, everybody, so I can see what everyone's talking about. Let me know what you guys are. Let me know what you guys are drinking this morning. Let me know what you got in your cup / gaiwan. There we go. And let me grab a copy to this so that I can. There we go. Copy video link. We can start telling some people about it. You guys have a good weekend. I guess your week's already got it started. So there we go. All right, I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. Yeah, if you guys are, that's not actually gonna work, is it? So I'm gonna try it from the other side. Gotcha. I'm getting there. Mornings are awkward. I can tell you guys that. All right, pretty girls. Adam Scott, Julia3695. Good morning, everybody. So I've got an interesting tea here that we're going to try once I get all my cables and everything situated. Added a little bit of the music stream into it this morning. Hope that's not excuse me. Hope that's not too loud. Let me know if the audio volume levels are doing good, and if not, I can quick tweak them. So, but we're gonna be drinking Wildwood as Maocha, which is something not a lot of you have had. F.E. Russia, what's going on? Right. So I've got. Let's take a look at this. There we go. So this is really nice Maocha. Pretty good stuff in there. And this is from Wildwood. How many of you guys have had some of our Wildwood material? I know some of you guys have had it, but probably you've had it pressed. I haven't actually had it loose. We didn't actually sell much of it loose, if any of it. I can't remember.
You don't make up
this is
church.
We sold this in 2018 and 2019, but this Maocha, this material, is actually from 2016.
The rest is bullshit.
That was the first time that we learned about this place. And I was very excited about this stuff. Go on, Strong. What's going on? Thank you for joining us. What are you guys drinking today? So Uhe is drinking some 2019 Pretty Girls pu'er and one of my black gentry. Very nice. Let's see here. I need to get one more, or two more posts out. Let's see. Alright. Let's get a copy of this and I can post it over the other one. This material was really awesome. 2016? Yeah, 2016 we found this. 2001 Monk's from Essence of Tea. That sounds really interesting. Shoot, that's a 20-year-old tea now. This tea's only 5 years old. 20 years old. That's crazy. That's a pretty old tea. I mean, it sounds that way, but then that's where tea starts to get good. If you really want to start saving your pu'er tea, you got to save it for a while. This is more than nice to drink now, but it'll probably be pretty awesome in 2036. Is that when it'll be 20 years old? I'm bad at math. So some of the farmers that we worked with, we had actually been working with from the beginning. We're always curious about the idea. Michelle, what's going on? Thank you for winking cat. Thanks for joining. Jacob Halbert doesn't know what he's drink. May or may not have just woken up. I literally just woke up. So it takes me just a minute to get things going. Let me get a couple posts out. Join us for Morning Maocha live streaming right now on YouTube, and then a heart. People like hearts. Okay, all right, I'm getting there, guys. Should work. Let's see. One more little thing on this side. 2007 gold ribbon Maocha. Nice. Is that a show pu'er? What is that? I'm not sure which one that one is. Let's see. There we go. Create a post. Put your kettle on. Cool. All right, got a couple more things. YT raw. Okay, nice. Julia3695 drinking an unknown and not labeled black tea sample. I think the music is a bit loud in comparison to your voice. Am I the only one? I can. Let me tweak that down a little bit, guys. I'm still working on getting the audio samples or getting the audio stuff in there. How's that? Is that a little bit better? Dropped it down. Maybe like right about there. How's that? Let me know if the audio levels need tweaking, and I do appreciate that because I can't hear the audio the way you guys do. Right. So 2015, 2014, some of the early farmers that we had met very early on. I think the first year we were there was 2014. Ooh, it's really nice. I can't remember if we had met them at that point in time, but we were just always curious about other places, not other places, but I was curious about wild material and lost material. I mean, Yunnan's a pretty big place, and it's dense, deeply forested, jungly, and it's we found actually a lot of the farmers and things didn't really leave home much. I mean, farmers are fairly centric to their farming villages. They don't really have like a exploring heart, I guess. I don't know. They really don't leave much, and historically, these people have always just lived in these areas, and really not actually even gotten out too much. Historically, most they would do is bring their material into a local village or collection center for it to be taken out. And great, audio's perfect now. Awesome. Thanks for the feedback, guys. I will leave that setting for the audio. So thanks. Jug Pants drinking Pasha. Surprised how good it is. I actually really like Pasha. Pasha is a lesser known little village, but they've got some good stuff. Cool. Fan of the educational talk with music. Suits it well. Nice. Yeah, I like having a little bit of music in the background. So yeah, farmers don't really, in my experience, don't really get out too much. But we've been talking with this one farmer, and she's like, yeah, my dad loves like hiking and exploring in the mountains around the village, and I just thought that was just kind of fascinating and really a rare thing because we've not really found many other farmers that were interested in doing stuff like that. So I was telling him, like, man, do you ever like find like old tea gardens or anything out there? And she's like, well, he's always looking, but hasn't really found much. But like they messaged us the next year, and said that they'd been talking with some of the village elders and the old like ladies who had remembered. They're like, yeah, well, when we were kids, like like our parents used to tell us like there was something up this way somewhere or something like that. And so her dad had done a lot of hiking and exploring, and he found this little garden that apparently had used to be picked, maybe 150 years ago or something like that. Totally overgrown. It's really kind of hard to get to. Told him I was curious about trying that material, and so they let us. They sent us this sample that we got actually, or we bought this sample. I can't remember. It's about 500 grams or something like that, not not too much. And I totally fell in love with it. It was just awesome stuff. So this was in 2016 when they sent this to us, and it's the first time we had it, and really liked this stuff. And then we wanted to get more of it, but she's like, well, you know, like she's like, you're not the only one that we sent the sample to. So some other person bought the entire garden, like literally all of it, every single tea that entire garden produced. And it's like, well, that kind of sucks for us because we wanted it, but we whatever. We'll enjoy this small sample that we got, and we'll keep thinking about it. And so messaged them in 2017. 2017, the same guy actually like bought the entire garden, every single thing, all the leaves, all the production, all the pickings. Like there's nothing left. So wasn't much for us to do. So in 2017, we had no option on it at all, and the only way we would actually be able to get an option is either if this guy, you know, didn't buy it anymore, or we, you know, bought it before him. But we would have to buy like the entire garden, so we wouldn't be able to buy any small portion of it or anything. So 2018, we found out that the guy was not interested in buying the entire garden again, and so we had the option to get some of it. And I specifically, before I really wanted to actually invest in the material, because it's not super expensive stuff, but it's generally more on the more expensive side than a lot of what we source. And I just wanted to go out there and actually see the garden myself. Oh, that's really nice. That's good. There's my first sip of the day. You know, I just wanted to make sure that we weren't being, I mean, partially I wanted to be sure that we weren't just being like fed a line, that there actually was some garden up in the hills that they had, you know, found while exploring or whatnot. And then the other side, I just wanted to get out and explore and see more stuff. I'm always curious about seeing, visiting, and going to places and things. So we get there, and you know, being told like it's like a day's hike to get out there, but you know, they're like, if you want to ride one of our motorcycles, you can ride one of our motorcycles. And I can ride a motorcycle. I'm pretty good, pretty capable on-road, off-road. So I was like, sure, give it to me. But man, like the motorcycles that they have there. I mean, everybody has motorcycles or scooters. That far out in the cities, they're all electric now, but over there, they're very. It's definitely gas, which is what you need, because you'll get stuck in the middle of nowhere. And it's hard to charge your battery or something. Anyway, so they give me their newest bike, and their newest bike was like less than a year old. But man, like just like the way that they just like beat these vehicles to hell, like this thing was just it was in poor shape. So it seems like, you know, like the brakes are, you know, like hardly working, all like the I'm sitting there trying to tighten up the levers so that it's actually like functioning. It's also just super poor quality. They can probably buy one of those bikes like brand new for like $700 or $800 US or something. They're definitely the workhorse of the tea farmers. So I get on this bike, which has more power than I had thought it was going to have. It wasn't like a dirt bike or anything like that. It wasn't set up for anything off-road, which it really should have been, considering that. But it's just basically like a street bike. Good morning, Gary. Got some breakfast for you there, buddy. I'm on a tea stream. Gary's sitting in the corner watching me. He just came trotting out of his bedroom. Anyway, so these motorcycles are not suited for off-road, but that's the only places they drive them. And so she jumps on the back of her dad's bike, and she's like, all right, well, she's like, I don't really ride myself, but I ride with my dad. So she's on the back of his bike, and they just take off. And she's like, shoot, I gotta go. And so just gunning it through. And so we're driving through this village, and we're going back and forth, you know, like up and down, all basically like, you know, cobblestone style like roads and stuff. And man, that bike is squirrely. It does not. It's not getting traction on stone. It's not getting traction on nearly anything. We're about to leave the village. This is one of the the coolest parts of this, you know, like hour and a half that I'm on this motorcycle. There's this gorgeous stone bridge that we have to cross going over this river, and it's a really high bridge. So I mean, it's one of those ones that almost kind of looks like a circle if like the water was like really high, so like a really high arching, you know, like Chinese style stone bridge. But it's like 40 feet down. So like the bridge itself was like 20 foot tall, but then like where the creek was down below was like another 20 feet below that. So I mean, it's like deep fall, big fall, and like the thing's like this wide, and it's also, you know, like 40 or 50 feet across, and he just like with his daughter on the back and his motorcycle just like guns it and goes straight over the top. And that was one of those things like, well, you know, you're not gonna stop on top of that. You don't have enough room to really. So it's like, all right, well, whatever, just gun it over the cross. So made it across that, but that was I thought that was going to be the sketchiest part of the trip, but it turns out I was mistaken. That was we were on those bikes for a long time, and barely a trail in most of the spots. It was a lot of off-road, and like the type of off-road where it's like it's literally just some trail that like somebody has, you know, like cut or sliced into like the side of a hill just by driving it so often. And so, you know, if your bike like fails, like you're just going straight down the cliff that way. You know, I mean, it's not like a vertical cliff, but I mean it was steep. And so one of those ones where it's like you just I don't know if for you guys that ride bikes, it's one of those things where you just kind of like stand up on the pegs and keep the gas on and kind of like moderate it with the clutch, so you're not gonna you just gotta keep some traction on. Anyways, finally get up to this place, and man, like the views up there are just absolutely incredible. And some old guy has now built like some little shed or shack or something out there, and so some guy's actually living pretty close to where it is now. You'll find that a lot. People will, you know, if they find some old material or something somewhere, somebody will set up like a little processing station so that they don't have to actually carry like the material back from, you know, like multiple hours or something like that back to a town to get processed. They can actually have the processing there, like pretty close to it. And it was this guy has got this shack out there, and so he's like crazy excited to see like some, you know, like foreigner, you know, like I just come, you know, sling my leg off the bike and go walking into his shack, and he just thought that was like the coolest thing. So I go in there, and he's excited to start making me some tea, and so I thought I was there. I thought we were actually there, that we made it to the garden, but apparently not. So he's making this big, huge, like he just takes like fistfuls, like actual like fistfuls of Maocha, and just shoves it in this like old iron kettle and just starts boiling the crap out of it. It just gives you like this big mug of super hot, super strong tea. Man, that's like one of those teas you'll just never forget. Like that was just so intense and so strong. The guy was like so excited to have some, you know, foreigner like drinking his tea or something. So I was happy to be there. Took some, you know, pictures with him and things and whatnot. And he's like, yeah, you're gonna need this tea. You're just like, you're not actually there yet. You guys still have to hike. So this was only as far as that we could get the motorbikes, and so then we actually had to hike much further. And it was a lot. And so we're already, that village was already at altitude, and so the 90 minutes, you know, like hiking, you're driving bikes further up into the mountains. That was we were getting pretty high up there. Maybe only about 8,000 feet at that point, 7,500, 8,000, somewhere around there. Get up there and going through the forest, and you just come into this like little tiny, just a little crack of a valley between the forest, and there were just hundreds of old growth tea trees that had just been there forever. But it was hard to see them because it was just like so like full and like overgrown with like weeds, and they'd been like working, you know, the last couple of years to try and like clean some of the weeds out and things, and make it a little bit easier to harvest. But man, these trees, it was big trees, lots of moss growing on them, nice big trunks. You know, all were like, you know, 10, 12 feet tall. Some taller than that. So big trees, nice big like, branching trunks and good leaves. Yeah, so we're up there just kind of exploring for a couple hours, and it's got a the village, not the village, but the this tea garden was in three levels. There were like this valley kind of stretched down, but there had been like a kind of like a tea garden in the flat level here, and then like a high valley, and then like a lower valley. And I was just absolutely enchanted with that. So went around, took tons of pictures, took some video, and had a lot of fun. Had a really good day. It was and then we had to drive back. Driving back was just about as bad as it was driving up. Just super easy. To brakes on those bikes weren't too great. It just kept. Eventually made it all the way back, but it was getting a little squirrely in some spots. One spot on the bike, I drove over a stick, and the stick kind of twisted and shoved itself into the rear sprocket on the wheel of the bike, and just completely ripped the chain off. And her dad was driving like a madman because he's, you know, like driven this route like so many times, and he's the one who goes up there and, you know, like takes the material and, you know, brings it back down. And so he's just used to just racing up and down, and they just left me out in the middle of nowhere. They didn't even know that I wasn't behind them anymore. And so now I'm stuck on a motorcycle with a broken chain. And I'm all by myself in the middle of nowhere. But I tried honking to get their attention, but they were too far gone. Eventually, like 15 minutes later, they realized that I was no longer actually behind them, and so they came back. But I'd mostly gotten the bike fixed by then. I always have a little Leatherman multi-tool thing with me because I like to fancy myself as being a MacGyver fixing stuff. I watch too much 80s TV. So yeah, I'd actually gotten most of the chain back on and fixed with my little multi-tool, and took it from there. Got the bike going again, and drove back into town. But it has certainly put definitely a love of this tea in my heart, just from that experience and from that just from being able to drink the material. I think it's really nice stuff. It's really good. It's got a lot of it's just a really interesting tea. I like the fact that it's you know, from a hidden garden kind of thing. So that was 2018. That was the first time that we actually had a chance to try. The first time we had a chance to actually buy the materials. We bought the material, came up with the name Wildwood and some little graphic design to go with it, and pressed it. We didn't press a lot of it, so we still have some of it on there. We still have some of it on the site. But in 2019, the harvest was really tough because of all the droughts. But this material, and we weren't going to be getting the material again. We were kind of make it like a one year production thing. But the 2019 was just so good. It was like so good. Like that tea was just I don't know, something. The combination of what was going on with the just the weather that year, you know, like the terroir, like everything about it was just great. I don't know. It's hard to describe. Some years things just kind of work like that, and that was definitely one of the years. Sometimes the worst years, the ones where it's like the weather's not perfect and the trees have to struggle more. Really makes the tea come out So the 2019 material was all they had significantly less, which is why we pressed 2019 in 100-gram cakes instead to kind of get the price cost like down a little bit, because dollars per gram it was much more than it was the year before that. But it was just so good, so I couldn't put it away. Like that 2019 is probably the best that I've had it. But this is nice. This Maocha from 2016. It still has this. This tea is a little bit more on the herbal sphere, which is kind of nice. It's got some similar notes to the buying shan that we've had. If you guys remember some of the buying shan, well, something like Hidden Song maybe, but not that much umami. But it still has a sort of well, not a wild characteristic, because wild is a very specific. That nice big chunk of a tea branch in there. Yeah, wild has a certain specific characteristic that I wouldn't describe this as being a wild tea. So this is a really nice one. How many of you guys have had a chance to try Wildwood? Yeah, Jugfan, you're right. The Wildwood leaves look really nice. Oh, there we go. That's nice. What's that, Gary? Okay, buddy. Okay. It's fun watching kids wake up in the morning. Let's see. All right. Yeah. So that's the story of Wildwood, and the tree, the design of the tree that we put onto the first wrapper. So that was 2018. That one was actually taken from a photograph of one of the trees in the Wildwood garden, and then I think in the for the 2019 design, I kind of did a different little thing. Oh, good job, buddy. Good job. Nice work. They're gonna go work on waking. We're gonna go work on waking up Gemma. Are we having some? I might be having some internet issues here. Let me know if things are. Let me know if things are coming through on the stream right or not. It's kind of hard to tell. Let me double check here. It seems like stream is still going through good, but I think the music is kind of glitching out just a little bit. So if the music isn't doing too good, let me know, guys. Everything's perfect. It's all good. Okay, good. It looked like things were tweaking out just a scratch. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, that's the story of how this tea came to be. It's good stuff. Still. I love motorcycles and exploring, so this tea is super close to my heart. And just that experience, like that day, I don't know, easily like one of the top 10 days of my life. Maybe I would go so far as to say that. Very enjoyable day for me on motorcycle, exploring, woods, mud, tea. Just seeing that guy's face as I parked my motorcycle in front of his little shack, and he came out. Man, he was so excited. He was like, it was fairly large, because he'd actually been using it for a lot of like tea production and stuff. It's just kind of like three-walled shack. It was open on one side, like looking out over the whole mountain. You could see all the way down to where the village was that we'd made our way back from. But yeah, just that drinking that tea in his shack, and that hike from there, and it was decent. So you think you got all the way up there, but no, you had to go further. So it just shows you how it just helps you to appreciate a little bit about the teas and the work that the farmers actually have to put into getting them done, you know. And so, I mean, this is a farmer who already has all of his own material to do, and he's already got, you know, like, you know, custom commissions for all sorts of stuff, and he's already trying to, you know, negotiate to purchase, you know, like gushu trees in the village to do the processing on those, and, you know, working to find, you know, like customers and things. And so, like, on top of all of that, I mean, including like just the regular farming stuff that they need for their own, you know, consumption, whatever they're, you know, eating, you know, the pigs and all that stuff. And, I mean, it's obviously a family operation and everyone's helping, but on top of all that, the work it takes to, you know, get on a motorcycle for 90 minutes to go way up into the mountains to pick a bunch of stuff, to toss it back on the back of the bike, to race back into town and get it processed there. I mean, that stuff adds up. You know, that's not a lot of, I mean, there's not a lot of days in the picking season. There's not a lot of hours in the picking day. It's just it shows how much effort they really put into it, which is it's just nice to see. And I think it comes through in the tea, or that's the hope. Yeah, if you guys are ever in oh, it's really thick. If you guys are ever in the Seattle area and it's in a post-COVID time, you want to sit down and have some tea with us, you can do that. Swing by and we will we can brew some of this up. Maybe we've got maybe like 300 grams left. It's one of the ones that I definitely kind of like savor for special occasions. But I saw the bag of Maocha downstairs and figured I would brew some of it up today with you guys. You guys got any plans for the week? I mean, the week's already almost half over. It's Tuesday. I guess it's just getting started. It's hard to think of post-COVID times. We'll be there. We're getting there. Yeah, I hear you. In some ways, I really like the COVID times. Wildwood 2018 is not available in Seattle storage. We don't have Wildwood 2018 here. I can double check. I was actually just looking on the site and saw that it wasn't listed as here, but I could have sworn I saw like a couple tones of it downstairs that we had for sale. So send me an email. I'll double check when I'm going through the storage tonight. We've been getting every couple days. We've been getting new boxes in the mail full of tea and stuff that we ship to ourselves in autumn that are finally showing up, which is nice. And it's all of our 2020 tea. So I've been going through storage trying to make sure that we got enough room for that. But send me an email and I might be able to find one here. But for my experience, the 2019 is about as good as it gets. 2019 turned out to be a lot better year for this material. 2019 material is going to be more expensive, but the 2019, which is definitely on the site in both Seattle and Kunming inventories, it's a very, very nice tea. Right, yeah, like I said, it is hard to think of post-COVID times, and we have been certainly enjoying the lack of daily stress. You know, I don't know if you guys know what it's like when you got a couple kids and you're trying to, you know, like juggle all sorts of different, you know, like kid events, you know, like, you know, dance class and music class and swim class and library reading time and play times and stuff. Like, you can take like the finite number of hours you've got in your day and just throw them all away, and, you know, getting the kids in the car, taking them there, and, you know, like eating, and, you know, like getting them dressed for swim class, and, you know, like all of that stuff. There's definitely a part of me that's super happy that we haven't been able to do that stuff for a year. That's, in some ways, as far as like daily family life, has been really relaxing. I'm sure the sacrifice is at the you know, child development level, but I like the mask too. I really do. I like masks. I like wearing masks. I don't know. Maybe that's just my personality. I like to I like to have something that I kind of hide behind. Masks and beards don't work great though. My beard is always getting twisted and kinked, and then I take it off and it all looks all weird and funny because it's been shoved under a mask for hours. But I do actually enjoy wearing the mask. It was funny. Somebody, I was doing a Zoom class with, or not a Zoom class, but I had a Zoom meeting with one of Gemma's new teachers, and like in the Zoom class, she's like, "Oh my gosh, like you've got a beard." And I'm like, "I do have a beard. That's right. You've literally never seen me without like my mask on." So I thought that was pretty funny. She's like, quite surprised. There's people that I've met that I don't even know what half their faces look like, because I've never actually seen them without it, which is kind of a excuse me, it's kind of funny. This tea is coating my throat. It's so nice right now. Yeah, so in certain ways, been enjoying the lack of stress in the COVID days. In certain ways, I'm not sure if you guys are also experiencing the same thing. But we did finally find an interesting little school that we may get Gemma into starting in February. So, which is kind of nice because kids actually really need physical interaction, time, and seeing everybody wearing masks is so difficult for like child development, because they take so many cues from like facial expressions and things like that, and it's so hard for them to like have this amount of data and information available to them that's just been like completely taken away. I think we're going to see some really interesting child development results in the next like 15 or 20 years as all the COVID babies grow up. But yeah, so post-COVID times, once we actually get back to doing tea tastings and things in person, if anybody's around and wants to try this tea with us, I'd be happy to share some of it. It's pretty nice. Ty says, yeah, for sure. It's like having something stop snow from getting in your face with long hair. Yeah, thankfully we haven't had snow yet this year. I think yeah. So for those of you guys who are in much colder climates and you guys are outside a lot, I imagine it's nice to have masks. Although my mask style, I like doing one of the I like the N95 mask with a vent, and then I put like a cloth mask over the top of that. Actually, I got my cloth mask here. You guys will like this one. I think this one's pretty fun. This is my over-the-top cloth mask. Of course, I gotta be a little bit nerdy with it. So this is how basically everybody knows me now. Anybody in Linwood who's seen me as my little stormtrooper mask. So yeah, I don't like rebreathing a lot of my air. So the masks that like fully seal it in just kind of stresses me out. I don't know if that's just me. So I like to have a vent. We do need CLT masks. We actually made some, but didn't actually get them put onto the site. Had some custom print on demand ones and stuff like that. Joseph Burton, don't like wearing masks in the winter. It fogs my glasses. They get soaked. Yeah, no, that's the same thing with me. And it's one of the funny things. Like you sit there, like you got the mask on. Like you're all like like safe and whatnot and stuff. But then like when you watch like your stuff steam up, you realize like that's all like potential COVID particles. So I mean, the stuff is actually like leaving somehow. It's got to leave somewhere. That's why I like the N95s with like the vent out filter here, because I can breathe out, and then it kind of like pushes itself down. Wear that mask over that, and so it might wear the Stormtrooper mask over that, so it just kind of like catches that there. So works well. That's my style. That's what I do. So I'm not sure if you guys watched the last Between Two Teapots. I think some of you guys were on there. Between Two Teapots with it was with Liquid Proust. That was a crazy one. That was a ton of fun. A lot of fun. Just as much. Hopefully, it was as fun for you guys to watch Andrew and I just be complete tea idiots for an hour and a half. He's such a fun guy. He's got such great personality, and he's so much. He's just so like vibrant. Has this like great energy and persona, and so it was a lot of fun to kind of like sit down with him for a while. I don't think he and I have spent time in calls and chats and stuff before and talk a lot online, but we've not really actually like sat down and had like a video type face-to-face like tea tasting together. But like, man, dude is so passionate. Yeah, Jugpan, he's so passionate with liquid proofs and his teas and what he's into, and like I mean this in all the best way. Like reminds me of kind of like the energy and style of like a ShamWow guy or something like that, where he's just like, it's like, I mean, yeah, sure, the ShamWow guy is like, he's being paid to like sell something, but like he actually, I mean, it really feels like he believes in his product. You know, he's like super excited and explaining things. He's got like the headphones and microphone. He's like talking directly to you, and I get kind of those vibes from Liquid Proofs, and I think that's pretty cool. And I don't think it comes across in like a super salesman-y kind of way. The dude's just passionate. He just wants more people to be into the tea world. Ty says you got in the habit last summer of using a work respirator rather than cloth mask, just easier, not have to swap back and forth. Just left such a bad imprint after a while. Yeah, I'm starting to, I noticed like my like nose and like the skin and stuff around here and things just skin really doesn't like having stuff stuck on it so much. And yeah, I've got some of the work respirators and things, and like those are the ones I actually would prefer wearing, but I guess now's the time. Yeah, we'll be eventually in a world where we don't have to. It will eventually become no longer socially acceptable to wear masks in public at some point in time, and so I'm gonna be I'll be very disappointed because I really like wearing masks. Yeah, Julia, you're right. The Between Two Teapots is a different style. The morning episodes are more calm and relaxing, and the Liquid Proofs one very exciting, very vibrant. Yeah, you can't slow down. You can't slow down Liquid Proofs. Like he hits the ground running. It's like a train. You know, like 90 minutes of 200-mile-an-hour train just like racing through, and you're just on the ride. So I just sat there. I was just sitting there. And I was like, I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna drink tea, and I'm just gonna let him just run off. It's awesome. So, Between Two Teapots, next week, if you guys watch the end of it, so it's actually going to be this Saturday night, and it's going to be this Saturday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, so that's 9 Eastern for you East Coast people. We've got Marshall N, and I am just so honored that he was willing to take the time to sit down and have tea with us. I don't know if you guys really know who Marshall N is, but if you don't, like, take a minute this week and look at, like marshalln.com, marshalln.com. Marshall N is like the authority in the Western blogosphere on pu'erh tea, and he has been since like 2006. Like, just look at his blog. Just take a look at his blog and how much time and effort and love he has put into reviewing teas for a decade. Wow. I just so we had a test stream with him on Saturday night, so literally the exact same time. So it's Sunday morning. He's in Hong Kong. He has his doctorate in like Chinese history, so he teaches at the university in Hong Kong. Excuse me. And he took about 45 minutes, had tea with us, got the did a test stream, made sure all the audio levels, everything was all set up. Ta, yeah, we are going to be drinking the same tea. We're going to be drinking our 2003 Chang Tai Chuo-cha. Had to try and figure out like what would be a good tea to send him, because he has specific tastes, and his tastes definitely run towards the older material, and most of what we have and the new stuff that we do is all younger material. So he said he's been drinking lately, like mid-aged stuff, like 15 to 20 years old. So I'm like, perfect. All right, so we'll send you some Chang Tai Memorial Tocha. And just then, and right then, even just in like the test stream, like he was just like, oh yeah, well by the way, like this is something interesting about this one. He starts like going off all this information about like just Changtai and the Tocha and how it was like put together and all this stuff. And he's like, oh yeah, this was actually probably pressed in 2005 because this was on the label, and Changtai at that point in time, you know, like Changtai didn't incorporate as Changtai until 2005. So the material is probably from 2003, but they made it and pressed it in 2005 because, you know, like the wrapper has, you know, like this phrasing on there and this phrasing on there. It wasn't a phrase that they used until 2005. And I'm just like, geez, man, look at that. So like, it's just absolute wealth of a pu'er tea knowledge. So we're going to be drinking the exact same tea at the same time. We're going to be drinking it here. Anybody else has the Changtai 2003 Changtai Memorial Tocha, you can feel free to drink it with us. And yeah, if you guys if you don't know who Marshall N is, just spend some time on his blog this week. Get to know him. I am beyond excited and honored that he's has decided to have some tea with us. I've chatted with him a time or two over the years, kind of just here and there, just kind of, you know, like saying hi and stuff. I mean, clearly I read his blog and did a lot of, you know, like research on his blog when we were getting started in 2013, and man, at that point in time, it was just like, I got Marshall N. It's up there at the top, and really excited that we've got to a point where he's, you know, willing to, you know, sit down and have some tea with us. So super excited about that. That will be Saturday night at 6 p.m. So, and he's said we can. He's cleared his Sunday morning schedule. So that means that maybe we can do a longer between two teapots, maybe 90 minutes. He's definitely in there for an hour, and I told him we'll just kind of like play it by ear. You know, if it goes a little bit longer, if there's a bunch of people in, and they want to have time, you know, got a bunch of questions. It's like we can take as much time as you have, and so he seemed amenable to that. So speaking of live streaming and between two teapots, the stream with Liquid Proust, max concurrent was exactly 100, and I'm super excited about that. So we almost doubled our previous max concurrent. So it'll be fun to see if we can actually beat that with Marshall N, which we should be able to. I'm going to try and get this advertised on a lot of the Facebook tea groups, because I think the appeal of Marshall N is going to be quite broad. There's going to be a lot of people that want to get on there and pick his brain and ask him some questions. So I'll probably have to have Lamu help do some moderating. I've got a nice set of I know, Jugpan, you guessed 99. Somebody else guessed 101. Literally no one guessed 100 exactly. I checked. Like I went through and I scrolled through the chat. YouTube does this thing where it gives like a pre-guess at what the max concurrent was. I don't entirely understand. And so it had pre-guessed like 98, and a bunch of people had guessed 98. And then once it actually finally like worked out all of its totals, dropped the number at 100. And so I was just like, oh man, like literally no one guessed 100. But yeah, Jugpan, you were close, and I think Heather Schwartz guessed 101. So man, you guys were right around it, but literally no one guessed 100. So so close though, so close. But that was fun. A lot of good guesses. People were in the area, but that was pretty awesome. I was kind of excited. I didn't think we'd actually break 100 concurrent. So we'll see what we can do with with Marshall N. I think we can break it, because I think there's going to be a lot of drawl. Oolong Owl, hoot hoot! What's going on, Oolong Owl? What are you drinking this morning? Let us know what's in the pot of Oolong Owl. Oolong Owl, are you gonna jump into the Marshall N live stream? That's on Saturday night, 6 p.m. This next Saturday night. You gonna join in with Marshall N? Yeah, there's not many tea bloggers that are still out and about that long. Oolong Owl is probably one of the others. Oolong Owl has been around. You just woke up, starting a career, blah 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 blah.exe. Nice. Yeah, you know, you're getting there. You're getting there. You're getting up there with the Marshall N's in the category of most prolific tea bloggers. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned a Chorus.exe thing. The Sheng Wildwood stuff. This is generally where I nerd out just a little bit more than I normally do. So if you guys, I don't actually have it right here. Yeah, the Wildwood actually has executable code on it, and Wildwood 2018. It didn't actually entirely come out on the wrapper, but there's a faint semi-transparent layer with like about 10%, and you can just barely make it out if you actually have the wrapper. But there's the whole source code for one of the early one of the early open source encryption algorithms is actually available on the back of the wrapper. And so we kind of had some fun with that. The Wildwood, kind of like the mystery tea, like, you know, like where does it come from? Kind of like a secret location kind of thing. So I kind of played up the nerd aesthetic with that. So it's kind of fun to see other companies do things like that as well. Awesome. Yeah, Oolong Owl. It's gonna be fun. Really excited for Marshall N. So Oolong Owl, I'm sorry, you no longer hold the crown of a peak concurrent record. So we'll see what we can do with Marshall N. And then after that, we've got it's gonna be Mark Moeller. The stress on Mark Moeller. It'll be fine. We're gonna have a fun session with Mark Moeller. I teased him in chat that pressure was gonna be on to see if he could beat Marshall N's peak concurrent, but there's really no pressure, no stress. But just thought that would be kind of fun. Kind of have like a leaderboard with different guests and seeing what they can get the peak concurrent to. But and then I need to get Alka Michael back on. I feel so bad because his stream I didn't have the audio right, and the stream with Alka Michael and I was such a good one. He's also got quite a knowledgeable resource of pu'er himself, and so I feel kind of bad that we didn't that audio on that one is just so off. It's really hard to watch that. So got to get him back on so that I can have a nice session with him where the audio actually works. But I learn a little bit more every single time we do it. So I think I've been getting the audio levels a little bit better. I appreciate the feedback for everybody who told me that the music was just a little bit too loud on this, because that actually helps a lot, getting that feedback from you guys. But I like this music. It's a Twitch channel. This is a Chill Hop Music on Twitch, not Twitch. Chill Hop Music on Twitch. We partnered with them. They let us use their music in our streams, and it's a lot of fun. I think it adds a nice little chill element to it. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out like what's the right music to listen to, music to drink tea with, and this stream I just enjoy it a lot. It's a nice, good little ambient stream. It's got this. They got a raccoon theme going on if you guys check it out. Oolong Owl likes the idea of the team of super tea drunks stream. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. So I think we could. I'll message you about that. We'll have a mega tea drunk stream. That could be kind of that could be kind of fun. We'll figure out a way to make that happen. And yes, we'll just sit there and I'll give you guys. We'll have a nice long session with all of the teas that just make us go mega tea nuts. Speaking of high tea energy teas, I think we're gonna try and reblend. Altered State. We did that in 2019, and that has been a very, very popular tea. we get a lot of first orders from people who haven't bought tea before and just jump straight into altered state, which is kind of excited to see that. So I'm going to try to try to reblend altered state this year, and with all the good super high tea energy stuff. I think it actually worked out well. It worked out better than I thought, because you know, the worry was that the tea was not going to be good to drink, which because I was focused more on tea energy, but I think it actually turned out really nice. Hunter S plans on buying a tong or two when you get a full-time job. Cool. We've got multiple tongs available. I think we're still doing decent for the inventory on Altered State, but I really kind of want to get Altered State 2 out there. I think that'll be kind of fun. It's the sheng that got you into pu'er. Awesome, man. I really appreciate you saying that. It's I still have a very fond relationship with the tea that got me into sheng pu'er, which was everyone remembers their first. Yeah, I do. I remember. Not only do I remember my first tea, I remember the first sheng. I remember specifically the first sheng pu'er that I had, where like I just got it, where it all just made sense, and that was in Lijiang. If you guys don't know Lijiang, Lijiang. Lijiang is a town in the northwest corner of Yunnan, right as you're starting to get up into the Himalayas. It's close to Dali. Lijiang is an ancient town, and it's been there forever as a trading point. In fact, that's where Lamu's grandfather, when he worked on the Tea Horse Road, he ran mule trains between Lijiang and Shangri-La, and so Lijiang was his other base, and then he actually became a teacher. He worked in Lijiang for a while, but Lijiang is very interesting now because it is a city on the UNESCO World Heritage Site, and so it is preserved for its cultural heritage, and so the town looks exactly like it's looked for like the last 200 years, at least like the core Lijiang Old Town area. And there's just tea shops like all over the place, just everywhere. They've just got like stacks and stacks and stacks, like tongs on tongs on tongs. Like the walls are just like packed with teas. There's whole just stacks of gens of tea everywhere. And so it's really hard to know which shop to pick. I was like, man, I've got to find one of these. He's like, great. And so finally found one. Also Lijiang's just little tiny alleys, and it's so fun to find all these little tiny nooks and crannies and little stuff. You can just explore for hours through Lijiang. So found this one little tiny tea shop, and excuse me, went and sat down with the guy, and he was brewing Changtai's 2006 or 2005 at the Top of the Clouds that we've got. Fan forever. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. And he sat down, and he had been brewing it already in a teapot, so probably 15 steeps in, and started drinking it. It was just so good. I just never had a tea like that before, and it just every single thing about sheng pu'er that I had read about but had not actually experienced all came out in that session. That was it was one of those definitely eye-opening experiences, just having that tea. So yeah, you Hunter, you're right. Everybody remembers their first, and that was it. That was my first sheng pu'er that just really did it for me. 2005, Top of the Clouds in Lijiang. The guy was selling those cakes for $400 a cake. 400, and I was just like, man, that tea's totally worth it. Someday I'll be able to buy a really expensive cake of tea like that. $400. Tourist tax in Lijiang is ridiculous. Everything in Lijiang is just super expensive. And if I'm being honest, Lijiang really feels a little bit more almost kind of like an Epcot style cultural experience. It really feels like they've just kind of homogenized and thoroughly sanitized anything of actual cultural significance and just kind of dropped in actors. It feels like that. But I still like going there. I still like Lijiang a lot, actually. First tea that got you into it was Silver Needle. You haven't had any of it since. But been bitten by the pu'er bug. Man, once that pu'er bug bites, worms its way in. You're not quickly getting away from the pu'er bug. You may for a little while, but you'll be back. You'll always be back, guarantee you. Yeah, so that was my first real sheng experience, and I'd been drinking it for like a year before that, but that was like just never got it. That was the one that was just like, man. And that's what actually got us to become friends with Changtai, because I was like just so enamored with that sheng experience. And so we went to the big Changtai shop in the Shangda market. Which market is that? Yeah, which market? I can't remember. One of the markets in Kunming, Kangla, and became friends with them, and friends with the lady who was brewing tea, who was just working there as an employee at that point in time. Became really good friends with her. She was very nice and very kind and very educational. We learned a lot of stuff from her, so we've actually followed her around from shop to shop to shop. She's moved and gotten different jobs, and so now she runs her own shop in one of the other markets. And so we spend as much time with her as we can when we're there, because we've become really good friends with her. So a lot of stuff has kind of branched out from that one experience. And then I also found that those teas are not being sold for $400 a cake like the guy in Lijiang. I'm so glad I didn't buy one of those. I mean, even now, we're selling them on our site for only like 80 or something like that. So clearly that guy was overinflating the cost of his teas significantly. Adam Scott, first tea that got you into tea was your Myanmar green tea your brother brought back from a trip abroad in a little plastic baggie. That's cool. That's fun. He probably had fun sourcing that. It smelled like an old smoker's house. It's probably because it was stored in an old smoker's house. I've had plenty of teas that are stored by tea professionals in Kunming, which are people who literally nothing more than just like a small, like 8 by 8 foot shop. Ro, good morning. What's going on? Yeah, and they sit there and just chain smoke all day long with them and all of their friends. And if you try the teas that they have stored in that room, they will taste and smell exactly like you would think a smoky tea room tastes like. It's just, they don't, you try and explain to them, might not be a good idea to have your teas aging in a room where people smoke all the time, and you'll get the funniest answers, and they're like, no, it's fine. You know, it's like, so because tobacco is a natural product and tea is a natural product, like they complement each other, and I'm like, well, I mean, if that's what you got to say to justify it to yourself, but I'm telling you right now, your teas will taste and smell significantly better if they are not constantly inundated with secondhand tobacco. And they're like, you're wrong. You don't know anything about tea. And I'm like, in comparison, you're probably right. In comparison, I probably don't know anything about tea. But I guarantee you that your teas are not tasting as good as they would taste were they not constantly being smoked on. And they call me crazy, like, stupid foreigners, you don't know anything about tea. Like, okay, all right, well, I'm not going to buy any tea from you because clearly it all tastes like your cheap cigarettes. Band Forever's first tea was a bug bit and Eastern Beauty. That's really good stuff. I've had that before. I enjoy it. Since then, you stopped drinking energy drinks and other nasty stuff. Yeah, you're probably much better off. I had a pretty mean Mountain Dew habit. That was my thing. That was most of my 20s was software development, coding, hacking, and Mountain Dew. Copious amounts of Mountain Dew. It's back when I worked at Real Networks. Real audio, real video stuff. They actually had a soda machine on tap. I'd go there like 2 or 3 times a day. Big, huge cup, ice, Mountain Dew. Take it back to my desk. I just drank Mountain Dew all day long. I love Mountain Dew. I don't know. I really do. I know some people say it's nasty, but I love it. I love Mountain Dew. Still do. Love the taste of Mountain Dew. And drank far too much of it. My teeth are in far worse shape now than they were before that. But yeah, eventually I broke the Mountain Dew habit, and I think tea is much healthier. Although tea will certainly stain your teeth, but at least they're not as torn apart as they were with the Mountain Dew. Hunter S stopped eating sugar in 2019. Nice. Drinking soda makes you sick, makes your teeth sticky. I drink it like once a year, if even that. Yeah, Dr. Pepper is so good too, Ty. I really like Dr. Pepper. We rarely drink, soda beverages now, which I think is great. You save a lot of money, because that stuff is actually like really expensive when you start adding it up. We will do like sparkling water. Go get like Costco like mega pack of like sparkling water, because it's literally just about the same as water, but just kind of has like a nice little. I like that. I kind of like that carbonation bite that those drinks have. Yeah, those are good. So we do the kids. It's so funny listening to Gary, like more sparkling water, please. Like how he pronounces sparkling water, sparkling water. Yeah, he really likes it. Kids are gonna be spoiled. I remember growing up like absolutely hating sparkling water. Like my aunts and uncles would drink it, and I was just like, man, you guys, this stuff's just horrible. Like you need some Mountain Dew. It's funny how your taste perception of sweetness changes. As we work with customers who have have a beverage history like mine, which is just drinking copious amounts of heavily sugared drinks. You switch to a tea like this, and like I'll tell them it's sweet, and they're like, "This isn't sweet. Like you didn't put any sugar in it." I'm like, "No, I'm like it's actually a super sweet tea, but." Your perception of sweetness is shifted by the evils of high fructose corn syrup. That stuff just shifts your perception. Yeah, there was some meme I saw the other day about, it was talking about like Coca-Cola. Like when Coca-Cola made the shift between putting actual like cocaine in their drinks and then switching over to sugar, which is like significantly cheaper and probably 6 times more addictive than actual cocaine. It was just like, it's like the smartest business decision ever. It was like, hey, we don't actually have to put cocaine in our drinks when we can put sugar, which costs nothing and hooks people even more. Yeah, the sugar beast. If you can beat it, that's pretty good. Ken Inafuku, what's going on, Ken-san? Yeah, Ken actually worked with me at Real Networks. He knows the vending machine that the vending machine, not the vending machine. He knows the soda on demand for free soda fountain that we had access to. Man, he knows. I was sitting down there drinking Mountain Dew all day long. Yeah, Ken. So yeah, Ken's Japanese. I love Dr. Pepper and I love root beer, and they've got a similar essence. And for a lot of the exchange students that we have, we had Japanese exchange students, and I would always try and let them drink some root beer or Dr. Pepper. And maybe you can help explain this, Ken. They hated it, like almost to a person. Every single Japanese exchange student that we had, absolutely hated root beer and Dr. Pepper, like with a passion. And the one girl described it I let her drink some of it, and she drank it, and she looked at me, and she described it in the most unique way I've ever heard. She's like, "This tastes like the end of my life." And I was just like, that is the most interesting way to describe it. And so I don't know if it has to do with some traditional Japanese medicine that's very root based, that makes them think about medicine when they drink it. But Ken, do you drink root beer? Just kind of curious about that. Maybe it has something to do with something that doesn't taste good in Japan that kids grew up with or something. Ban Forever says your reason for the switch to tea was you're struggling with really bad chronic inflammations in your colon, got some strong medication. I think that also helped. Yeah, it's nice to have something that's just a little bit more natural for you. Drew, what's going on? Hey. Can't wait to wake water kefir second fermentation with pu'erh das, not to waste any leaf. Nice. You have to let me know how that goes. Sodas are too sweet. I used to love Dr. Pepper. Yeah, I know. Sodas are too sweet. When I have them now, it's just, man, I think about it, like I used to drink that stuff like it was going out of style, and I was just tossing that stuff down. You know, you look at like a picture of, you know, like 12-ounce like thing of Coca-Cola, and there's like 400 milligrams of sugar in there. It's like half sugar. It's just shocking, absolutely shocking how much sugar is actually in those drinks. So if you guys can kick the sugar drink habit, you're probably gonna be much better off. Ken says, I did park myself at the vending system. I did. I was actually, Ken knows, like I drank that Mountain Dew all the time. Mountain Dew and the foosball table. You either find me at like the Mountain Dew machine or the foosball table. I was rarely actually working, apparently. We do have I do still like carbonated beverages. We've got like a soda stream, and so we'll make our own little mixes and stuff and kind of carbonate them ourselves. And that's actually a lot of fun. See, Ken, I knew it. You don't drink root beer either. I have not found any. I have not found any person in Japan, and I know a decent amount of Japanese people, and I've not found anyone that will drink root beer or Dr. Pepper. There's just something about that flavor, and I think it has to do with, my guess was that it had to do with some Chinese medicine or some Japanese medicine that kind of had a similar essence to root beer, and so it just brings back like horrible memories in people who drink it of getting, you know, like forced medicine when they're having kids. So I don't know, but yeah, that description, root beer to her tasted like the end of her life. I thought that was the most fascinating way to describe things. Ziaxia, what's going on, man? Good morning. Most Europeans hate American milk chocolate due to an acid that's in it's also stomach acid. I can totally see that. I didn't realize that, but I can see, yeah, milk chocolate does have a certain acidity to it. Oolong Owl soda streamed altered state. That could be interesting. I could experiment with that. Get a little bit of altered state, toss it in a pot, boil it down to absolute like syrupy essence. Pour it into a jug. Carbonate it. That could be interesting, or it could be horribly nasty. I don't know. Ken says reason for Dr. Pepper root beer is not going well is the taste. Tastes like Salonpas. What is Salonpas? Is Salonpas a beverage in China? I'm not sure what Salonpas is. Have we made tea with carbonated water? Yeah, I've experimented with different stuff. Boiling something down to its essence, kind of using it as like a thick. Wait till it gets kind of like a thick syrupy paste at the bottom of your pan. Not too dissimilar to like chagao or something like that. Take that, pour that the same way you would like a syrup into soda stream kind of thing. Carbonate it. Pretty good stuff. I still want to do some experiments with nitrous cold brew, really thick brewed cold brew pu'er. Charge it with nitrous. I think that would just be awesome. I really like the cold brew coffee over nitrous thing that they do. Stuff is just so good. If you guys never had a chance to try like cold brew coffee over nitrous, so good. It just makes just so thick and creamy. But like the home nitrous setups are a little bit pricey. Ziaxia remembers doing carbonation experiments with cold liquids. It will increase how much carbonation it can absorb. Interesting. Ken misspelled Salonpas patch. I don't know what that is. You'll have to let us know. Check Jeff from Uni Tea. He does nitro brew teas. Yeah, I'll have to. Oh, excuse me. Whew. Finally awake, I think. How much tea did you use? Boil it into syrup? I think I worked with I had like 500 ml of water, so like half a liter of water, and I probably tossed in 30 grams of leaf or something like that. So it's definitely overleafing it. But then I just kept boiling it down until I got like a really strong essence. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since we did some of those experiments, but you can have some fun stuff, especially if you take something and maybe like toss in. You can get those. They use them for like espresso, kind of like the espresso flavoring shots or something. a little bit of a toss, a little shot of like peppermint flavor or vanilla flavor or something into it. Kind of you're introducing sugar at that point in time, but you're not really doing like a full tea session thing. So I don't really stress about it, but you get some really nice little extra flavor notes that kind of like balance into it. Some pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. All right, you guys. I think I'm probably going to call it here. I gotta go get the day started. I still haven't eaten breakfast yet. Jump right into the tea sesh for you guys. Feels nice being able to kind of like wake up with you guys. Wake up to like a nice little tea session. Had a lot of fun with this one. I think our next one we're not doing. So it's not going to be Friday. It's going to be Saturday night, 6 p.m. We may or may not do the Midnight Tea Club after that, because that would just be like 1 or 2 hours after that. So I think we'll probably we may forego Midnight Tea Club this Saturday in favor of getting everybody into the late Saturday evening tea stream with Marshall N. So yeah, if you guys don't know who Marshall N is, go to marshalln.com. Pick some interesting stuff, read up on some of his reviews into the old teas and all the teas that he's been brewing for the last 15, 16 years or so. He's got a lot of really good articles. He writes with authority. So come up with some questions. If you guys want me to make sure that you've got some questions for Marshall N, send them to me ahead of time so that in emails, make the subject just like questions for Marshall N, so I can make sure that I try to work those into the conversation, so we're not kind of like inundating him with questions, like right at the end. And yeah, the Marshall N stream is going to be a lot of fun, and so I'm very excited for that. So again, that's Saturday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, and so I will hope you guys have a good rest of your week. And thank you so much for having tea with us this morning. I apologize again that I was not able to get onto the stream yesterday morning, but I slept through it. So, anyways, thank you so much, guys. Love you all. Have a good week, and happy sleeping.